Okay, y'all leave her alone.
Don't bother. She doesn't want to show her naked back.
Granddaddy's gonna tell us about, what was Granddaddy gonna tell us about?
That's what grandmother said, but I'm not,
What you want to know?
well, about all I know is that my mother's grandparents who had come over to the States a number of years before, they both got sick.
Let's back up.
They were they were well up in years too. They probably were bothered with arthritis.
Well, let me tell you a little bit about his.
And my mother was the oldest one in the family, and of course.
Well, tell about them meeting each other and getting
Fell
married.
her a lot.
She had a hard time.
I'm gonna hush.
Who are you talking about then? Name some names.
It would be Miss Nellie's, which is Stokes' mother, was working in a home for some wealthy people.
In England.
In England, she was had to take care of the house, and then his granddaddy was a gardener, and he worked in the garden, and so they got acquainted, and they went. One night he wanted her to go with him somewhere, and said she never did go very much to any places, and she took off and just left and didn't tell them that she wasn't going to wash the dishes and do the work. Well, she wanted to have her a holiday, and so that was how they first got acquainted, and then they got married and started a family of their own, and they had 5 girls and 2 boys. Is that right? 5 girls and 2 boys.
You talking about
Miss Nettie, your dad's mother.
Dad's mother.
Mm-hmm. And the Amy's names were Dot, Rose, Min, and Sue.
You talking about Dad's mother's mother?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
And her sister, see, that was her sister's name.
Yeah, that was my mother's sister's.
Yeah.
That you named it.
And then there was the men's name was John, and what's the other one's name?
They were Thorns.
Yeah, they were all
George,
Thorns.
Uncle George.
Yeah, Uncle George. And Uncle George, when Miss Nellie came over here, well, first.
Uncle George was the youngest one, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Of all of them.
Of all the family, yeah. And I guess John was the oldest, wasn't he?
I don't know about John.
I think he was. But
Yeah,
anyhow, Miss Nettie came over to the States to get her grandparents. Well, step granddaddy, her first husband had died. And
Which was her grandmother and her
Step
granddaddy.
Step granddaddy,
That's Miss Nettie's grandmother.
Grandpa and Grandpa
and step
Hines.
grandfather.
Yeah,
Grandpa and Grandpa Hines.
Right.
They're buried up at Hopewell.
Right.
And so they came to get she came over to get them, and in the meantime.
Whereabouts did they live? Back what part?
In England?
No, over here.
They lived out
From Glen.
north of Glenn's, about 2.5 miles. You remember? You probably don't remember.
I know about where your old home place
Okay, you
was.
don't remember the
Just a little
Atkin boys'
piece.
place back over there?
don't remember that.
You don't remember Bob Caldwell's place back over? Okay. Anyhow, it was back toward Hopewell. You know where the Hopewell Methodist Church is?
Yeah, don't
Back north of Glen.
Where were they buried? They were buried out there at
Out
the
at
church.
Hopewell, yeah.
Yeah, I've been out there before.
They lived about a mile
Yeah, I've been out there.
or 2 from mile and probably about a mile and a half
Yeah.
east of Hopewell Methodist Church. See, they homesteaded some land.
Right. Back in back when?
Well, I'd have to figure it up, Terry. It'd be back in
Yeah,
the
100 years ago.
Early 1900s?
Yeah, back in the let me see, in the early 1900s, early. And
But anyway,
it's
that's
back
the reason.
close to 100 years ago.
That's the reason Miss Nellie came
It's
over
over
here.
Yeah,
100
Mom,
years ago.
Mom came over to take care of them.
Get away from them. I'm not gonna
Yeah, I guess it would be 100.
Over 100 years ago.
No,
Run it.
it'd be over 100
Anytime you
years
touch
ago.
it, it makes a noise.
About
Run it. I got it running.
And they had homesteaded that place over there, had built the house, and had cleared the land out and were tilling the
Well, they
soil.
first just cut down some limbs, logs like. And
Is that the picture of, whose cabin is that we've got a picture of? That might have been your daddy
That's-
or
that was
uncle or
a
something.
old
Yeah.
log house.
Old log house, somebody
That
that's standing
was
on
my
the.
mama's
Okay,
dad.
that's different
He
thing.
homestead there.
I don't believe we've even got a
Any
picture
picture
of
of
that
it?
old home
No,
place
we got a
from
picture of them though.
behind, but I know
I know we got a picture of them, two pictures, one of each of them.
we used to, I know where the area is, and I remember the
Yeah.
house. We used to go by it occasionally.
Did you get a good bath? Did you get you a
Well,
good
anyway, that's
Hello.
that's how she came over here, and
She came over and they got sick. That was the reason she came.
she
really.
came over here because they were sick.
They were
They were
sick.
sick,
So
and they
she-
never did what it was.
She
It
couldn't
just
get
didn't
them any better.
They finally
Their
died.
plans were that
She
when they
died
got
from-
able,
Her
that
grandmother died first.
when they got able, they were gonna take them back to England.
Oh, I
And-
see.
and-
They did.
And then she met,
During that time, she met my dad.
What was they doing? You reckon you know anything about that much?
What, of course.
Your dad doing?
Well, he was farming. Just farming.
let me tell you, he doesn't care.
Yeah, that thing running, he
Okay,
touches
you
it,
can,
it's gonna bump
yeah.
it and knock it and make a noise.
She met Mr. Jocelyn, and he had just lost his wife. Well, he had left 5 children. And, so she wrote back home and told her folks at home that she had met a man that needed her, and she was going to marry him. Well, they married, and she took the old grandpa and home with her to the house, and took care of him, and then his mind got bad, and he died. And then, in the meantime, she had 4 children. So that's 4, yeah. Had 4 children. Her first child died, and
Yes. What was his
His
name?
name was Frank.
That's what I
Yeah.
thought, yeah.
He lived in 10 months old.
Rose,
Yeah, Blue Baby.
Rose, Douglas, and Margaret. And so Miss Nellie went to school in summertime. She already had a fairly good education.
Okay, wait just a minute.
Okay.
I just wanna know what Daddy knows, or you started off telling